Who's ready for our next session? Show of hands. I know I am, so let's check it out. All right. Okay, looks like we scored a critical hit because here comes Dungeons and Dragons. So let's stick with our friends at Wizards of the Coast and start with an extra special edition of Dragon Talk, the official Dungeons and Dragons podcast featuring Greg Tito, Shelley Mazanoble, and Matthew Lillard. Plus, we have an amazing reveal featuring the most famous drow in all the realms. So break out those dice, roll some nat 20s, and let's head to the icy glaciers of Icewind Dale and get things started with all the Dungeons and Dragons awesomeness.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dragon Talk. Yes,
Yay!
very excited
Good
to be
morning.
here, part of Hasbro Pulse Con. I am Greg Tito, and I'm joined, as always, by Shelley Mazanoble. Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
I'm holding this mug very awkwardly, about to take a sip.
But good branding. I like it.
Good branding. I know. I wanted to get that ampersand in there for sure.
Always be branding.
We are, as our host told us, is a very exciting official podcast for Dungeons and Dragons, and we are here to talk about two very exciting things before we bring in our special guest, Matthew Lillard. But first, let us talk about the Humble Bundle from R.A. Salvatore that is going live very soon and includes 32 books from the New York Times best-selling list, all about the legends of Drizzt Do'Urden, the most famous drow in the land, as said before. It's very exciting because purchasing this Humble Bundle, a portion of those proceeds will go to support Extra Life, which is a fantastic charity that Wizards has been supporting for many years. We've raised more than $1 million in total for this charity, which supports the Children's Miracle Network of hospitals, getting funds to those institutions that need to help out kids in need. But that is one of the main fun things we wanted to talk about today. And I think, Shelley, you have something else that you want to show and tell, right?
This is pretty amazing because we get to break some news. This
Some real news here.
a very special product reveal. First time you're seeing this. This is the Drizzt and Guinevere action figure that is going to be a PulseCon exclusive, or a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Look at that beautiful packaging. So if you are
cool.
a collector, if you are someone who's a fan of action figures, these are truly amazing. I know this because I have a sample even. Yes, which was sent to me. Now, I live with two big fans of action figures, so I know a thing or two about action figures. For instance, I know that you do not call them dolls. They're not dolls. They're action figures. Don't make that mistake. But also, like, this is gorgeous. And here's Drizzt. The detail on this is incredible. What you're looking at on the screen is some of the accessories that come in this box. It is rich with accessories. You can change his hair and his face. You can even change his hands and the accessories that he holds. And oh my God, look at my little sweet Guinevere. La, la, la. And I know that this is called articulation, like when they move, and they have tons of articulation, which I think is super cool. These are premium. Yes. So yes, tons of accessories, including Drizzt's awesome swords, Icing Death and Twinkle. And they have a really great painting. Really, I'm telling you, like, the detail on this is truly incredible. And I know I have to send this back to Hasbro probably, but it's going to be hard to pry this out of Bart's hands. You also get these really cool cards that come with it, and like the artwork from Max Dunbar, whom we love.
Oh, very cool.
There's like secret messages on the back.
Oh, what is that?
So,
what language is that?
You're
going to have to roll to find out.
Yeah. Oh, well, that would be okay, because look at this beautiful D20. That also comes, there you go, a better picture of it. That comes in the package. So you get a ton of stuff. And you even get a digital download for Dark Alliance as well. And this is available through Hasbro Pulse All of that, $39.99, which I think is a screaming deal. And you can start pre-ordering that today at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. I did the math for you. See?
Wow.
So write yourself a little Post-it note, put it on your calendar. This is gorgeous. And it has this super cool artwork that's part of the packaging that you can even use to display it if you just want to keep it up on your shelf. Not usually a fan of having action figures worked into my overall decor, but I actually really like this. And I kind of feel like we might, like we could work them into like a tablescape or something. I don't know.
I feel like that was a direct call out to me, Shelly, and my action figures that I put behind me. Thank you for shaming me.
You're in your game room. That's where they belong.
This is exactly. And speaking of game room, we have a wonderful guest to bring on who has been making everyone's game rooms look so much better over the last few years. Matthew Lillard. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Matthew Lillard at Pulse Con.
Welcome.
What a great name, by the way. Pulse Con.
Right.
Taking the pulse of the gaming industry.
Nice. The Pulse Con. The that's an amazing action figure.
It's cool, huh?
Little known fact, I played with action figures the day I went to prom. True story. sharing a little about my high school experience.
Were you like role playing like this is how you dance? This is how you put a corsage on a girl?
Evil.
Or did you go to prom when you were you like 7 when you went to prom? Is it different?
I was natural age for prom. I graduated at 18 and I was playing action figures. And my mom's like, ding, 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 ding. Are you okay?
Your date's here. I think that just makes people love you even more.
High school is not a great
Matthew.
time. High school is not a great time for Matthew Lillard.
It wasn't until you got to college that you met your buddies and started playing D&D, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So I went to acting school when I was 21, and I played D&D when I was a kid. And then at 21, my roommate at the time he had brought with him to school all of his books, all of his DM guide and player's guide. And I was like, "You play D&D?" He's like, "Yeah, I still play. I played my whole life." I was like, "We should play." For the Super Bowl one year, we all got together and played in the basement of the Circle and Square Theater on 50th and Broadway, and we've been playing ever since. I'm 50. That was when I was 21, and we still play it. Same group of guys. We started a company.
Same group.
Wow.
Yeah, same group of guys. We added a brother. We added Charlie Rayor, but yeah, we've been playing since we were 21, and
that's 29 years ago
decided to have. That's 29. Almost. Yeah, January will be 30 years of playing D&D with the same group of guys. You did the math.
I think you need to celebrate that.
More so than your 50th birthday.
Yeah, I mean, well, we did start a company called Beetle and Grimm's as a midlife crisis, so I think that is enough celebration. We don't need any more celebration. 5 of us started a company, and it's running our lives at this point.
In a good way,
and it definitely in a good way for D&D fans, because you kind of make playing D&D a celebration every time you use some of these amazing accessories from Beetle and Grimm's. But for people who don't know what Beetle and Grimm's is, can you tell us a little bit about this company you started with your D&D group?
Yeah, so we create high-end boxed editions of Dungeons and Dragons releases. So if we pack this box full of things to make your game as epic as it can get. Right. The basic idea is that, if you're a fan of Pearl Jam, right? If you are like, you love that band, then you would go out and buy a vinyl of that band. This is how we explain the company. But the true fan, the ultimate fan, goes out and buys the boxed edition, and we are that boxed edition for Dungeons and Dragons. So we create these things called platinum boxes. We sell 1,000 of them. They're very bespoke. They're numbered. They're collector's editions. And then we sell different versions of that: a silver, a gold, a legendary edition. But our basic company was built around this idea of creating platinum editions. I got a little confused. I went wide there on the stream. I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Spotlight.
It really threw me to see me in my own space.
Taking over.
Yeah.
Oh, and gosh, so I have I think I have your first platinum edition right here. This Dragon Heist,
You
Waterdeep
do?
Dragon Heist, which I used when I was running that campaign, and it was a boon having like the map of Waterdeep, having all of these amazing things available for my players to pick up and hold on to. And here's something really exciting: you've got Icewind Dale edition coming out pretty. Or no, is it available right now?
It is,
I think
yes.
so,
We
right?
did. So Icewind Dale came out. Yeah, Icewind Dale's the newest release from Dungeons and Dragons, and we did a platinum edition, which is 1,000 copies that we sold out in a month and a half. And then with the demand being so high, we ended up creating what we call a silver edition, and that is still available, and that's flying off our shelves. I mean, the D&D brand, our brand is having a real renaissance right now. I mean, it's just been an incredible time for both our products.
Yeah.
So
I remember.
I'll keep talking. Do you want me to keep talking?
Oh, wait a minute.
I know. I wanted
What
to
are
show
we
these
looking
because they're
at?
super cute.
Oh,
These
Yeah, that's
are
our
the
ti-
Yeti
that's our
Pikes.
Eddie. Yeah, it's a plushie. He's adorable yet terrifying.
no,
And
that is
we
adorable.
did that as a promotional item for our Icewind Dale box. That's for sale right now at beetleandgrims.com. I think it retails for $20.
Just the
All right,
plushie
is
itself?
this
Oh my
is this
God.
in the? You can just get the plushie, or is this part of the box?
Yeah, so the plushie we sell, it's actually not included in our box. Our box is basically packed full of stuff.
Mhm.
And then this did not make it was too much stuff.
Okay.
It's
well,
adorable.
I'm.
Though. I think that's a
Yeti
great
getting
small
But that's for
price
sale.
point gift for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas is right around the corner. Right around the corner. And if you need a snuggle in these terrifying times, well, allow me to introduce you to our terrifying tyke.
I love it.
I need to snuggle.
I feel comforted
But
already.
there's another exciting box coming out very soon, right?
Yes, I'm very excited about this personally. So
Ooh.
this is in the pantheon of WotC products, the Curse of Strahd is one of the great D&D releases, and they re-released the book, or they are re-releasing the book this fall. And so we went back and created what we call this is a legendary edition of Curse of Strahd. And each one of our boxes, there's 5 of us in the company. Each one of us leads a box, and I actually led this box. So personally,
cool.
it has a soft spot in my heart because I was the lead designer on this box. But we all work as a team. Obviously, it's not just me, but I'm the one responsible. So this is our legendary edition. Super cool. We it's retails for $499. Oh, $399. Excuse me. And it's for sale right now, and it's about to sell out. But this thing is crazy. We in Dungeons and Dragons, one of the things that people love are maps. Like you want to have these little minifigures, and you use the. Oh, speaking of maps, this is our world map of Barovia, done by Devin Rue. She's amazing, and she did this for us. She's very hard to get a hold of, and we finally tracked her down and collected enough time out of her to get this beautiful map. And this is on in-world paper. Part of the charm of the box is that we create a lot of in-world feeling props. And so this is like rolled up on this sort of hide paper. It feels like hide.
Ooh.
So we're excited
Oh, that's
about
cool.
that. Yeah. But
See,
just
that's
going
what
back,
makes
so
you
we
premium.
do these. It's pretty extra. But we did have the Ravenloft fans out there. We did a battle map of a 1-inch battle map of every single room. It ends up being 33 maps. It's all of Ravenloft.
Wow.
Every single
my
inch
God.
is a battle. Yeah. So we're 33 maps of 24 by 30. It's crazy. It's huge. It's ridiculous, but it's
I
very
love
fun.
that. We love Devin Rue. I mean, we've had her on the Dragon Talk podcast many a time. Such a great story, and I love that you and Beetle and Grimm's have embraced the D&D community and brought in so many great creators to, get the word out about your products, but also just to share the love that everybody has for this game.
Well, I do think that which is different than I think most brands out there, is that there is a community of people that support this game, that love this game, that that make it a special place. It's inclusive. It's everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome around a game. I mean, look, the nature of Dungeons and Dragons is sitting around the table and telling a story for years on end. the idea of community, the idea of fellowship, the idea of friendship, the idea of working together as a group to defeat evil in these really bleak kind of crazy times in the world. It's there's no more rewarding a game to play, I think, in the world than Dungeons and Dragons. Or any RPG. I mean, it's just sort of, or any Hasbro product.
There is something inherent about D&D
think,
too, right? Where it's people coming
Yeah.
together to solve problems and defeat tyranny. And you're right, people need that, all the time, but especially right now. And it is, I think, a big reason why the popularity has surged the way it has.
Yeah, and look, and Critical Role, and it's in the zeitgeist with Stranger Things and people playing years and 5e. I mean, there's just a lot of reasons why the game is as successful as it is right now, and it's sort of be a.
I think another big reason why. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Shelley.
I was just going to ask how you are managing to stay connected to your group throughout all of this. Are you playing online still, or?
Yeah, it's a great game. So we, as a company, because we're sort of spread out all over Los Angeles, one of us meet 3 times a week, 3-hour session, to run. So we're on Zoom all the time. Has been an incredible tool for us. And then I DM. I'm actually writers who are now all over the world running shows, running. We've been playing Skype. I think that you have it shorter. You have to keep it more concise, but it's still those hours playing. It's that age we can't be together, and I don't know. It's sort of a respite, and it reconnects us, and it's been such a boon for all of us to have the game to gather around.
Do you end up using finger puppets when you guys are doing meetings?
I love that you have the finger puppets. Is my favorite part.
Okay,
it's so funny. So Chris Perkins. Yeah. No, go ahead. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I want you to talk about these. I remember when word got out that Beetle and Grams is going to put finger puppets in an upcoming box. It was like the biggest news in the office. And I'm so glad to finally see these guys. Oh my God.
Are they adorable? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chris Perkins is the lead designer is he the lead designer at Wizards of the Coast? What?
I think he's principal story designer for D&D.
Yeah. But he was the lead on Curse of Strahd.
He was the lead of Curse of Strahd. So we early on in the box creation process, we had a conversation with him and said, hey, I just said, what would you do? I mean, what do you love? What did you miss? Is there anything you left out that you would love to see? And he, in Chris Perkins sort of fashion, went, I love this puppet that Holly Conrad made for me. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, why don't you put a puppet in? I'm like, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. That makes total sense. Which, if you don't know anything about Curse of Strahd, it makes little to no sense whatsoever. But if you know Chris Perkins, it makes total sense. And so we went to Monster Fight Club, our designer on this, and said, hey, how, we want to do a puppet. What does that look like? And went back, as we as a team started thinking about it, like we didn't really know how that puppet would play out. But there's an element in the game called the Blinsky toys. And each one of these dolls represents one of the Blinsky toys that is in the adventure. So that's the Faceless Bride, that's the Jester, the Werewolf. Strahd is on the pinky there on the end. And then we had one other because there was nothing else that was called that in Blinsky. So that is our zombie cleric that I came up with because I thought it'd be fun just to torture the cleric in your group.
That's awesome.
Your Dungeons and Dragons group.
And that totally fits the gothic horror theme of Curse of Strahd, which is about, the old ideas of, vampires and werewolves and, the old timey architecture that you have to see. And so Blinsky creates these toys and, in the classic horror way, they might come to life, they might not, they might embody some things, and it's a delicious way to add some cuteness and some humor into your campaign, but it could also be pretty darn creepy, a la Chucky or something like that, right?
Poltergeist.
I mean, look, one of the great things about our company is that we're able to, because there's 5 of us running it. It's all it's a passion project. We all have regular jobs, or I don't have a regular job, but they all have regular jobs. I have a very unregular job. I have a very crazy weird job, but we're able to do things and chase things and create things that we love that add to the game. And that's the greatest thing about the company, is that we're 5 best friends spending time making things that we love to share with the community that we love as well.
That's so cool.
And you
let's move away
still
from
play
the visuals
D&D.
here for a second, if we could. And and then let's talk about your D&D games. What have you been playing recently?
So I'm actually running Curse of Strahd twice. I'm running it with my kids during the pandemic and some neighborhood friends, and then I'm running it with a group of showrunners. I'm running Strahd for a group of showrunners. So I don't normally DM. In fact, somebody just asked me to DM on a stream, which the D&D community right now in the Twitch world, streaming games become a big deal, and so somebody's asked me to DM a game. I'm also playing a lot in the game. I'm playing Tavio in the Realmsmith game, which is a streaming game that appears every Monday. That I'm having a blast. I find, look, the whole world is on Zoom, and the whole world is now engaging online, and I find it, I feel so terrible for the kids. It's exhausting. It's hard. You're doing more work to try to connect to people, but I do find that there's a lot of joy in gaming this way.
Yeah.
Are you guys playing a lot? Are you playing, Greg?
Yeah. I've been doing a weekly game with Shelly's husband Bart as a player. I've killed his character at least once, maybe more going forward.
Not as many times as I've killed his character.
But I've been doing it with cameras and microphones. So I have that's part of the reason why I have a table behind me, is I can set it up with a webcam and other things, and I have my minis all set out. And we're not gathered around the table physically, but I still try to have the ability to show off visuals, to have the imagination jump off into the game that way. So it's a combination of playing here on this thing, and then I move back to the table, and it's worked out really, really well.
Oh, that's great.
And I've done some streaming games, in support of various charities and things, and I'll be doing more of those going up. And those are always fun to do, DM one shots. And I think, it's really interesting to use the medium a little bit more, right? Like I think, when I did one game where I was a spider, I was role playing as a NPC, as a spider, and I had these sunglasses that we had bought for the summer, that all of our family bought, like different colored ones, and I brought all 4 of them down here and I put them on my head.
Oh my god!
I had different eyes, and I was like this cool cat spider in a weird Alice in Wonderland type of adventure, and that was super fun. And I think a lot of people are starting to experiment with using the camera and using whatever props you have around you. So that's why Beetle and Grimm's is a perfect investment for that type of thing.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, we try to use our imagination, try to come up with stuff that's going to engage you and engage the game. And I have stuff. Do you want to see stuff? I mean, I literally, I don't know how much time.
Let's see stuff.
Like I have, so we did this this dragon. So we just created this dragon, the Chandelier dragon.
Nice.
It's kind of there's his face is here, but there's a map in the game. And as the dragon continues, that's ridiculous. Cut to Greg. That's incredible. I'm so embarrassed I shared this now.
I know. Why'd you have to one up him?
I know I had to. I'm sorry.
Come to my party. Come to my party. Let me show you all my cool stuff. Why do you bring your little stuff to my big party? That's cool. Now, but I'm going to keep going. Here's our soul coin.
Yes.
You don't have this, do you?
Your soul coin was so cool.
Our soul coin is actually cool.
That thing is huge.
Close up now. So this is in Avernus, Descent into, what is it?
Yeah,
Baldur's
Descent
Gate,
into Avernus. Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus, last year's big adventure.
Yeah, so we created this thing called a soul coin, and then this is a minting of a human soul, and if you can see it in there, there's a face in the coin that's I'm rotating it the wrong way, like I've never been on camera. Like what? You can see the eyes. I'm like, what's this camera thing?
It's so creepy.
So there's a human soul trying to get out. This is something we just created for Curse of Strahd, which is super cool. This is actually one of my favorite pieces. So this is the in the adventure, it continually says you find a coin with the visage of Strahd on it. And so we work with this great artist named Siddharth, and he did that bust for us.
That's great.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the type of thing, I mean, for people who are watching and listening who haven't played Dungeons & Dragons, like those type of things are described, and usually everybody has a different mental picture in their head of what it is. But when you're playing around the table and you have a physical item that you can show to them, or in these times over a camera, manipulate, it just brings the imagination to life, and everybody gets the same visual cue, and it just really enhances everything we do around the table for Dungeons & Dragons.
I've got kids walking in.
I did.
Does that happen to you guys? Like I'm like off
everywhere.
camera waving, go away! I'm live on Pulse Con.
I've become a master of
God.
the one finger up. I don't know if that works for you, but I'm always like, nope.
No.
You got to do the whole hand. The whole hand.
Well, I was doing a stream last week, and my daughter, and it was a please don't cuss stream, which I'm pretty good at. And my daughter walked in and dropped an F-bomb. I'm like, I was on for an hour and didn't say anything inappropriate, and she came out and she was being funny. It wasn't rude. It was being funny, but she did drop like we're very liberal here in this house in terms of swearing. She dropped an F-bomb.
We are too.
And I was mortified.
It's an adorable moment, though, having Matthew Lillard as dad show up on stream. That's pretty funny.
Oh, well, it's funny for you. It's a nightmare for my children. We had a moment this weekend where we did this. The screen is killing me. I'm like, wow, 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 wow. We did.
And you're playing D&D with kids in the neighborhood, right? Is that what you said?
Oh yeah. We were playing with family friends. The Philippones are in the game, so it's all my kids in the Philippones, which is awesome.
And are you doing?
I mean, the great thing about just going back to the game real quick. The great thing about the game is you're teaching teamwork. You're teaching. Yeah. You're fighting against evil, right? And you're spending years. I mean, adventures can take as long as you want, but generally, if you're playing like once a month or once every 2 weeks, an adventure will take a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years. I mean, the longest adventure we ever played was like 7 years, our Beetle and Grimm guys, because we were, all parents and family, and it's just sometimes hard to get together. And that was before Zoom. And it took 7 years to complete the adventure, and so you're spending all this time telling a collective story about doing the right thing, and it's one of the great things about this game.
So really, remote learning could actually just be playing D&D. Like, forget all of this other school stuff. Like, why aren't these kids all just in D&D campaigns? They could learn everything.
They just add a little math along the way. It'd be good.
Well, they got to add up their dice rolls, and yeah.
All the math that we've been doing on this panel all comes from my D&D skills. I didn't learn anything.
I mean, me too. Yep, converting time zones. It's on. Okay, so Matthew, what would you say is the best part about Beetle and Grimm's? Is it creating really cool, immersive stuff for D&D players to enjoy in their games, or is it finding out what products we're going to publish years in advance? Because you do have.
Well, I do love that. I do love that. That we get to go to the licensee meeting, and all of a sudden they'll break out like big slides, and you sort of feel like you're on the inside of the WotC world. We are, but that is fun. Look, there's two things I love about it. First of all, I'm spending an enormous amount of time with 4 of my favorite people in the world creating a company. And not to be sentimental, but that's like that to me is as good as it gets, because we laugh more around a table playing Dungeons and Dragons, like belly laugh more than any other time in our lives. And then that sort of energy is now translated into a company. Yes, we do argue about stuff. We have passionate points of view about, how to do things in boxes, and we are fighting all the time, but it's about stuff that we care about, and we're having a blast. So the best thing about Beetle and Grimm's for me is the fellowship I have with the 5 of us. That's the best. The second thing for me is that, look, I'm an actor. I am by definition, I go from job to job, gig to gig, and sort of like always making new family as you go along. And I'm very rarely, I've been doing it since I was, 18 years old. I was like a kid in high school. I was acting, not professionally, but I started acting at 13, and I've done it my whole life. I'm 50 now. And, look, it's not, being on set is great. I love having a job, but it's not like every day is an adventure. Starting Beetle and Grimm's, I've had to understand and learn a whole new world in terms of business. I am responsible for our international shipping, our insurance. Like these are not things you are taught in acting school. I'm out negotiating deals. Yeah, I'm negotiating deals with people to create things in China, and I'm the one responsible. Look, that Strahd box for me. I take a great deal of pride in taking on a project from beginning to end and being able to deliver it. It comes out in at the end of October, and look, it's going to be amazing, and I'm super proud of what we've done as a company, and I'm excited to be able to say, look, I'm the one that led that. And through thick and through thin, I'm, my butt's on the line when it delivers. And, that's not something you do as an actor. You show up, put makeup on your face, you hit a mark, you make the right face, and, you're off and running. But this is a whole different sort of side of my brain that I'm really enjoying.
Well, that's the best midlife crisis to have, right? Is one that makes you grow and change and get better and or learn a whole new skill set rather than buying a Lamborghini.
Yeah, well, listen, we considered upgrading wives or not upgrading wives, leaving wives and buying fast cars. And then we realized there's no upgrading our wives. We could never do any better than what we've done. So we've decided that was a horrible choice.
So we started a company.
I'll spend more time away from them doing a D&D company.
Which they love. It's fine. You can come in. You can scoot across the back. You'll see this is my 15-year-old. Go ahead.
Hi.
Go ahead. Hurry, quick.
Hi.
We're in Pulse Con. That's the one that cussed, by the way. That's the dirty mouth sailor, Macy.
Keep her out of here.
Yeah, but look, it's awesome, and thank you guys for having me on this morning to talk about it. It's we don't get to we have a very sort of small base. We're a niche company. We're growing exponentially, but it's nice to be able to get on Dragon Talk during Pulse Con and
it's been awesome.
Our base a little.
Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for everybody watching and listening. PulseCon. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the fun stuff that is coming down. And again, I just want to talk through the R.A. Salvatore Humble Bundle, where you can get 32 of the author's best-selling books for as little as $1. You can donate towards Extra Life. Everything about this is a good deal. You'll get a great story and support a great cause. And again, going back to the Drist Do'Orden figurine, really fun stuff. And there it is. There's Guinevere in the flesh.
For me. Well, I also don't know how to use a Where's the camera on this thing?
Yeah, it goes wide. When they go wide.
There you go. You're wide now.
I don't like it when they go wide.
Pre-order today, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern.
You shall pre-order the trowel.
That was actually a pretty good Dritz voice. I had that.
You're a professional.
I am.
Really great stuff.
I'm impressed.
Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us on this wonderful Dragon Talk, and we will give it to the rest of PulseCon to go forward.
Yeah,
go forth, PulseCon. Mwah.
Be gone, PulseCon.